Alright, so let's go through some of these questions with our boss. I would recommend 1 to 2 sessions before you break. Oh, two. One before you break and one after. But I assume you'll want to meet all your patients today, so you know what to expect. It shouldn't be too difficult to arrange 4 shorter sessions. Okay. Why were these specific patients chosen for me? For no particular reason. I considered which of them you would communicate with the best. As a psychologist, you value having a good relationship with your patients, no? Well, yeah. Will you be overseeing my work? For the first week, yes. I have to be certain you are not causing the patients any harm. Okay, I understand everything. I see. Once you have read your patient's files, you can fetch a nurse to lead one of them into your office. I highly encourage you to be as objective as possible when judging your patients. It would be a shame for you to neglect some patients in favor of others. I'll try my best. Trying may not be enough. Thanks for the vote of encouragement, boss. He steps away from me and moves towards the door. The next time we see each other, I will judge how well you handled your current position. Be mindful of how you choose to interact with your patients. Until we meet again, Miss Hart. I nod and he's gone, leaving me to read my patient's files. I sit by my desk and put the files in a neat pile before me. It's 7:30, so I shouldn't have to hurry. Okay, so as I said, these are the 4 potential love interests. William Moore is the first one. He's male, he's 26, he's in room, I think that's 19? Yeah. And he has generalized anxiety disorder. The patient refuses to talk to the majority of staff and spends all their spare time alone, known to become aggressive during an attack. Okay. His symptoms are persistent anxiety, excessive worry about everyday events, tension or restlessness, sleep disturbance, and often panic attacks, or any anxiety disorder. Then we have Charlie. We don't know his last name or his age, but we do know that he's male and he's in room 9. He has schizophrenia. Frequently interacts with the staff and other patients in a friendly manner, unable to provide information about his past. Okay, so he has a psychotic disorder. His symptoms are delusions, disorganized thoughts, hallucinations, the feeling of being controlled by an external force, bizarre, inappropriate, and unpredictable behaviors, and blunted emotional expression, as well as impaired attention. Then we have Tom Richards. He is 29, he's male, he's in room 16, and he has DID, also known as dissociative identity disorder or multiple personality disorder. He was recently admitted. He possesses 3 alternative personalities. Switches are irregular, reluctant to work with the staff, and seems to avoid other patients. He has the presence of at least 2 distinct personality states, also known as alters, episodes of amnesia, personality changes that are triggered by specific situations that he sees as threatening, and these personality changes do affect perception, memory, cognition, behavior, and emotions, as well as his sense of self. And then the last patient, Michael Burnett. He is 26, he's male, and he has obsessive compulsive disorder, also known as OCD. He has extreme aggression. He's known to attack staff members. He must be restrained at all times while outside of his room and kept away from sharp objects. Well, that sounds fun. Okay, so his symptoms are obsessions, which are intrusive thoughts causing anxiety or disgust, often related to exactness, order, contamination, violence, or sex, and then compulsions, which are repeated irrational actions meant to ease anxiety and satisfy the obsessions. Okay. That seems to be all my patients. Interestingly, each of them has a completely different illness. It looks like I'll be dealing with really serious problems. Well, it's what I was hoping for all this time, and yet, I am a bit nervous. Okay, your job as a psychologist is not easy. Once you decide on a patient to see, you will need to conduct a therapy session. Your every choice during these scenes is crucial. Your patient's affection towards you starts at zero, but can grow depending on your choices. Other factors to take into consideration is your approach. Sometimes you might have to decide between your professional standards and your relationship with the patient. Some might appreciate more professional and distant behavior. At times, you may be faced with a very harmful option. Choosing these options will increase the risk of you being fired as well as damage your relationship with the partner or with the patient. Good luck. So we can be fired apparently. Yeah. I always get really nervous whenever it prompts me to save because that normally means there's a high risk that we're gonna mess something up. Okay, who do we want to start with? We can start with, and you can see the diagnoses next to the names. So I played this years and years ago, but if I remember, Michael was my favorite, so we're gonna start with him. I'm not sure why, but his file disturbs me a bit. I feel slightly anxious about meeting him in particular, so I'll have to do my best. A patient enters my office. I freeze for a second. They weren't kidding when they wrote about restraining him at all times. I jump up from my seat and close the door behind him. I notice he's barely taller than me. Sitting down by my desk again, I finally have a chance to look at him more closely. I can't see his eyes, but I can tell he's staring at me the whole time. I take a deep breath. I'm safe, he can't hurt me. Stay calm, just start talking. I'm Nicole Hart, your new psychologist. I hope our sessions will be beneficial to you. He's silent for a while and I have no idea what to expect. I hope you'll leave this place in one piece. It would be a shame for you to give up so quickly if I ended up scratching you a bit. Okay, that's a way to lead. We can say scratching me. I don't give up easily or you can't hurt me. Well, he can hurt us. More than likely, like if he were to get out of that straitjacket, I'm pretty sure that's what that's supposed to be. So let's say I don't give up easily. Oh, we can see his eyes now. I wonder how long you'll last with me. Psychologists tend to run away from me quite a lot. And unsettled as I am, I'm not planning to leave him that quickly. I need to ask him something. Okay, so we've already got 1 point with Michael. I should be the one in control here. I need to make him understand that. But how can I do that if I don't even believe it myself? I put my hands on the desk and look down at him. His smile widens a bit. So, Michael. How long have you been here for? I notice that his eyes are an unnaturally golden shade. That's odd. Focus. I need to focus. 3 years. Maybe more. He sounds as if he genuinely doesn't care. How can he be so indifferent to his time spent here? Is it possible that he really doesn't care about what happens to him? Or is he just pretending not to care? I honestly can't tell. That's so mean to even want to be helped. I don't like that one. These are all like variations of the same question. We can say, you like being here? Do you even want to be helped? Or, and you don't want to leave? I'm gonna go with the... I'm torn between the first and the third one. I guess I'll just say, do you like being here? No, I don't think I'm that sick. His low laugh sends shivers down my spine. Though with you here, I might have to reconsider. In a moment of silence, I finally get a good look at him. I didn't actually think these were still in use. She must be referring to the straitjacket. Well, in his case, it seems somewhat justified. I had to close the door behind him earlier. It must be difficult to be restrained like this at all times. I look at his face again. He doesn't seem to be bothered by not having his hands free. What are you thinking so hard about? I collect myself quickly. Your file states that you've hurt staff members. Is that so? His eyes light up. Oh, God. Okay, that's not a good sign. My file. I was always curious what they wrote about me. Could you pass me that file? Okay. We can show him the file, we can keep it, or we can say I'm not sure about this. Okay, I'm gonna preface this with, we have to remember that this is a game, right? So the choices I'm gonna make here are totally different than what I would choose in real life. But at the same time too, I don't see the harm in showing him the file, assuming that it just is like a report of the incidents that of aggression and violence that have occurred here, because he was there for them, right? And it might help to make him feel like we're being a little more transparent with him. I pass him the file without much hesitation. Why wouldn't I? He looks at me in surprise. I think that little heart comes up every time we earn like a point with him. You know, I actually expected you to say no. I asked a couple of people already, but they either ignored me or said it's none of my business. I suppose it was a gesture of trust from me then, or at least the most basic amount of respect for his wishes. Anyway, let's see. He reached through the file carefully. Must be kept away from sharp objects. That's a whole other story, though. He finishes reading. Yeah, that sounds about right. They didn't think to tie me up when I first got here. He laughs. I'm slightly disturbed. It seems that he's restrained for a reason. I think they thought that I was in shock. Something like that. Okay, we can say you don't regret doing that. How can you blame the people who tried to help you, or would you do it again? Once again, I feel like 1 and 3 are like variations of the same question. I'm not going to ask number 2. So he's the one that has OCD. So he has the obsessions and the compulsions, which means, like, when you feel a compulsion, you feel the urge to do something, and it's irrational. It's not rooted in logic. So I don't know that asking him if he would do it again would be the best, because he may not be able to answer that, because he's not able to tell when he's going to have that compulsion, right? I'll ask him if he regrets it. Okay, that's not the answer I was looking for. Why would I? He grins. They were the ones who allowed it to happen. Oh, great, you're blaming the victim. Michael. If they were more responsible, they could have avoided it. It seems that he's not accepting responsibility for his actions. Yeah, no kidding. I'm silent for another moment and I glance outside. By the looks of it, it seems to be late. I should be wrapping this up. We don't have much time left. I get up to lead him outside. Thank you for answering my questions. I will see you again soon. I shut the door behind him hurriedly. That was stressful. I don't really know how to handle him, and I feel a bit uncomfortable after interacting with him. I guess there's nothing I can do about it either way, but he scares me a little. Should I make notes about what I've learned today? Yes. Okay, so we actually have to type these in. Okay, so we know that he doesn't take responsibility. for hurting the staff. What else did we learn? I think that's it. And he seems to enjoy. Oh, okay, that's all that we can type in because it's 50 characters max. Write another note? No, that's fine. Let's move on to the next patient. I have time for one more patient before my break. Who's it going to be? Okay, so Michael is locked because we already had our session with him for the day. So we can do Charlie, William, or Tom. Let's do William next. Anxiety disorders are quite common, so helping him shouldn't be a problem. I think I know what to expect from him. The door to my office opens and I look up from my desk. Here he is. The young man who just entered my office must be William Moore. He's frozen in place, not moving towards my desk at all. You're William, right? He nods, never taking his eyes off of mine. I'm your new psychologist, Nicole Hart. Please take a seat. I just want to talk. Oh, he's such a little cutie. Slowly, he sits down on the other side of my desk. I notice how tense he is and how he's sitting on the edge of his chair as if to run away from me at any moment. I should be mindful of what I say. Yeah, he seems very skittish. Okay, let's save. I don't think we should ask him if he's okay, because we don't want to put him on the spot. Let's ask if we can begin. He nods, but doesn't look convinced. I can tell he wants this conversation to end as quickly as possible. I have to find something he'd be willing to talk about. How long have you been here for? 2 years, something like that. 2 years is a long time in a place like this. Something doesn't add up. His illness shouldn't take that long to treat. Well, we already know that it says that he has general anxiety disorder. We could say it must be tough to stay here, or do you have more than one illness? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think though for now I am gonna end it here. Sorry, my throat is killing me. I've been trying to get over this sickness that I have. And I thought that I could get through maybe half an hour of this, but it is not. It doesn't look like it. Anyway, I will pick up where we left off next time. Thank you.